Hey, today we are at Smoky Lake Maple Products in Hilbert, Wisconsin. What I'm doing is I'm actually tapping 100 maple trees and we're gonna make as much maple syrup as we can. I have no idea what I'm doing, so you're gonna hear one of the sales guys here and what a great job he did explaining and telling me everything I need. And you're gonna see what I spent to buy a 3x5 evaporator, and I have the bottling, I have everything I need in 2 trips there. Check it out, let me know what you think.
How are you?
Good. How about yourself?
Good, I'm Jason.
Yeah, so we do mainly have a ton of wood-fired evaporators. More than likely, that's probably what he was cooking on. Would have been a wood-fired evaporator.
Do you do gas?
We do have some gas options, depending on the size that you want to get to. If you plan on tapping all 75, you could look at a 2x4 gas-fired, which is this guy on the far end here.
Okay.
This would be an LP version. A little bit smaller. It has 5 jet burners, each of them producing roughly about 74,000 BTUs. So it'll get up and move for you, just as long as you have enough LP on hand and a big enough tank.
Do you have natural gas options? Because we have
We do have natural gas options. That would be a Carlin burner, so it's going to look a little different from this. It would actually look similar to the Corsair here. But the front will be different. So instead of this being a full door, now it's going to be completely flat, and we'll have a hole in the center of this arch to accommodate a burner. You know, my buddies and I, we run a oil-fired unit.
You do?
We absolutely love it. We like the fact that you can just turn it off. You know, versus a wood-fired, you got the coals going in there still. It may take an hour to shut down. Versus ours, we don't have any fire break. It's just an insulation in there. We turn it on, it runs. We turn it off, it's cooling off.
So what size would I get? What do you suggest here?
For 75 taps,
They usually did like 16 or 15 gallons, so whatever.
So they were probably running a 2x4 of some kind, either a divided pan or a hybrid.
Yep.
Would be the other option. A hybrid's going to have drop flues associated with it to increase the evaporation rate.
Okay.
But if you're looking at doing 75 taps, a 2x4 hybrid is right in that realm of being able to accomplish that, no problem. And you'd be looking at roughly about 20 to 24-ish gallons per hour for an evaporation rate.
I don't know the difference between hybrid and what does that mean?
Sure. So a hybrid has what's called drop flues. So
Okay.
these actually drop down into the firebox itself, versus a flat pan or a divided is simply just going to be flat the whole way across.
Okay.
So you get a little better evaporation rate out of a hybrid simply because you have more surface area that
Makes
that
sense.
sap to come into contact with. This pan here in this size is able to accomplish up to 100 taps and still be able to produce roughly, into the low 20s potentially for an evaporation rate.
How much is this one, roughly?
Probably around the 5 to 6 range.
Okay, what else do I need to get?
So if you're looking for everything as far as start to finish, evaporator is going to be your big thing. You still need a means to collect it from the tree, so taps.
So I think they were saying I don't want to do bags. I want to do the tubes into buckets.
Okay,
right?
Tubes into buckets. Yep. There's multiple options. You could do bags or you could do buckets. Some people even put up lines and have it gravity feed into one collection point.
It's pretty flat.
But there again, it depends on the property itself.
Yeah.
So bags and buckets are usually the go-to for most people.
Okay.
Buckets are the one thing just to keep in mind when you're looking at buckets is you're going to want to clean those at the end of each year, and then you got a place to store it. So buckets can get kind of big.
I have a ton of space.
Keeping things. But if you got the space,
I have pallet racking that's
buckets
very high, and I can just put it up high, so that'll be fine.
Yeah, no, so then buckets would be good. So we have smaller quantities of tubing to accommodate for guys who are running buckets, just like you're saying. So we have 100-foot rolls of tubing, as well as 500-foot rolls. But if you're just going from the tap down to the bucket, usually people get enough that they need out of a 100-foot roll. So we're gonna start by tapping the tree specifically. So having a cordless drill with a drill bit, and we'll set this up kind of similar here to what we got here.
Okay.
So this is our tree. I'm gonna take typically most of our taps are gonna be a 5/16. So you take a 5/16 drill bit, you drill into the tree,
Okay.
now we have a hole. If we're gonna run a bag system, such as what we got here, I'm gonna simply put my tap in. I'm gonna take a hammer and I'm gonna tap this in until this collar here seats it flush with the wood.
Okay.
And then you can hear it too. There's an audible change when you're tapping. It'll be like a tink, tink, tunk. Once you hear that tunk, it's seated really well.
This goes all the way back, you're saying?
Just this little lip here.
Oh, that little lip. That's it. Okay.
That will then get seated onto the tree itself.
Okay.
And then once you have that seated, if you're running a bag, you can just put that right on the bag.
Does this need to be like at some angle down, or it doesn't matter?
A slight angle down,
Okay.
level, or just a slight down.
That's it. Okay.
And then it'll just start coming out of the tree, and it'll fill either your bag or your bucket. Then it's tapped.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay.
And then at that point, then you start collecting. So typically, some will either have a ATV, UTV, or some will just carry them one by one back to where they're going, and then they'll dump it into another larger storage tank.
So I'll just get a food grade tote or something? Okay.
Yeah, food grade totes work great. Even just like a poly tank from an agricultural store works as well too.
So do we load from the tote right into that then?
So then what you would do is you would have what we would call a head tank of some kind, which is just a smaller tank that's mounted above the evaporator. The evaporator then you can utilize either a feed pan or a float box. A feed pan is more of a manual way to maintain the depth in your pan. Typically you're going to run at 2 inches of sap within your pan.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
And then, so with a feed pan, you'd manually open and close the ball valve to make sure that you're keeping 2 inches.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. So then there's an automated version, so to say, which would be a float box. A float box, now, you set the depth on your regulator.
Do you have those here?
Yeah. So this will be the float box. You'll get the idea of how this is going to work. So you set your depth with this regulator arm here. Say we set this for 2 inches. We're filling up our pan. Our inlet is coming in on the top of this. There's a gasket underneath here that then, as you are filling your pan, so we're calling for sap, our pan is filling up to our 2 inches.
What's on top of this then?
This is just going to be a hose that's coming from that head tank.
How big is the head tank?
Depends on the size of your evaporator, but some will do a 30-gallon tank, some will do a 55-gallon.
And it's open on top where you just keep filling it?
Open on top.
Okay.
So there'll be a hose that comes down into the top of this.
Okay.
As your pan's filling, now this float that's inside of the box here is going to start to rise up. As it rises up, it's closing off.
I like
this
that.
gas.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then when you're running now, your evaporation rate is going to fluctuate.
How does it get into here? Through the bottom?
Through here.
Okay.
So there's a union back here
Gotcha.
that comes from the float box and then into the pan.
Okay.
So then as you're evaporating, you're going to be fluctuating. So that depth is going to be changing as you're cooking. With the regulator now and a float box associated with it, it's compensating for that. So
Makes
it's
sense.
Constantly moving, it's constantly allowing more sap to come in.
So at what point do you empty this?
When you start to empty this is now going to be based on the temperature of what you have going on inside your pan.
Okay.
This is a continuous flow pan, and the reason it's continuous flow is because we have a constant influx of sap coming into the pan. They'll have a density gradient that establishes within the pan. We're going to now look at our boiling thermometer here. This is a 0 to 50 therm. 0 is now the boiling point of water.
Yep.
So you would calibrate this to the pot of a boiling water. Once it hits boiling, you put that to 0. Now the number that you look for is 7, because you typically will have syrup at 219 degrees Fahrenheit. So you then look for 7. What I would do while I'm running now is, as I'm getting close to 7, I would make a small draw off of this. Just crack this open. I'd fill up a Murphy cup with a hydrometer.
Okay.
See where my density is at. If I'm a little light, I'm going to keep boiling. And then I'm going to keep checking this. So now let's say I get to 7.5. I check it at 7.5. My densities are perfect. I know I can now start to draw off. Every time this thermometer hits 7.5, I can start opening this up and keep going. And now I'm going to be drawing off syrup.
How do you know, like, do you have to shut that valve off then? That doesn't feed it anymore at that time?
Nope. This will keep going. This will always be running as long as the evaporator's running.
Do you have digital options?
There is some digital ones out there. This would be we would call it an automatic draw off. For how many?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, gosh.
So you could have this now applied to the arch itself. This syrup probe then would go into your pan
Okay.
to read what the temperature is.
Yep.
You program this to draw off at whatever temperature you want it to. So say you want to draw off at 220 degrees. As this probe heats up to 220, it's now going to open up this automatic valve here, kicks it open, and then it'll start dumping sap or syrup out of the pan.
Into what?
Into a draw tank. So some will utilize just a stainless steel pot. Some hobbyists just utilize like a turkey cooker, one of those taller pots that people used to fry turkeys in. They'll utilize that. Some will utilize an actual draw tank, which we do make as well.
How much is this thing?
This one here is probably around,
They might be a slight lighter blue.
with everything we got here,
So there
probably
was
close to 12, 13.
We did have normally.
Is that overkill?
For 75 taps, yeah.
How many would you normally do for this?
Something like this, you're looking at like 500 or more.
Oh, really? It seems a lot easier, but are there more things to go wrong with it then, too?
Yeah, because now you got to monitor both of these pans.
Okay.
So these are two separate pans. This would be your front finishing pan, and this is going to be your rear flue pan. The flue pan is doing the bulk of the evaporating now.
All right, let's skip this thing. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do that.
This is a lot bigger scale of everything. But for 75 taps, and you're looking for wood, if you have the access, a Dauntless Hybrid is going to get you exactly what you need. For, if you option everything out, you could be looking at just under 5,000. Any continuous flow pan that we produce has the availability of having a full box paired with it.
Okay. And this was just a little bit more expensive, you said?
Yep.
I'd probably go with a little bit bigger one. And this one would accommodate for how many?
A 2x4 hybrid.
This is
can
5 though,
go
right?
All the way up to roughly around 150, 170 taps.
Okay, I have the room and trees, so.
Yeah, and if you have the room and the option to add more to it, someone will just purchase for the future.
Yeah.
And the other thing too that's cool with a Corsair now, in a 2-foot by 4-foot option, we can now go all the way up to a pan set such as this. It's just a lot shorter, but you'll increase your evaporation rate with a pan style such as that there.
Why does this one have a little chimney thing on the back and these don't? It's supposed to be inside or what?
So that's just showing the base stack on there. These will have an exhaust as well associated to it. It's just a little different.
Oh, it's all, yeah.
The Corsair just has a little bigger base stack simply because you want to have enough drafting abilities to pull the fire through the
Gotcha.
arch.
What if it rains when you're doing this? Problems?
Typically, most aren't cooking in the rain. If you're doing it outside, they'll time it out so that they're doing it in nice weather.
Okay.
It depends too on where your sap condition's at. Some, if they have to, for sure, cook in the rain. Some will. The other thing to consider would be filtering. Some, when they start out, they'll go through what's called cone filters. You would use an Orlon filter, which is a thicker, heavier material.
Those here?
Associated with pre-filters. So you would nest a pre-filter inside of this filter. So this just hangs, and you put your pre-filters inside of this Orlon filter, and then as you have your syrup done, you would then filter it so you get out what's called niter or sugar sand.
Yep. What are you doing that in? One of these?
You could do it in a cone filter tank, such as this one here. So there again, you can then see how that filter hangs in there.
Yep.
And then as your syrup gets filtered, it'll be deposited in the bottom of the tank. And then you can open up a ball valve and let that come out if you wanted to bottle out of this. Otherwise, some will go with flat filters, which is a little bit of a better option, simply because you have more surface area for that syrup to go through. Flat filter that goes into this, and then you pour your syrup then into the flat filter.
You're pouring it in much slower.
Well, you'll do it roughly at about the same speed as you would with the cones. You just have more surface area. Instead of having all that syrup being concentrated down in this bottom portion of the cone, now you have a 14 by 14 or 12 by 12 area.
Why are these the same price and that one's so much larger?
The reason that this one here, the difference in price is simply by the means of the element that's being used to heat the steam. This is going to be an electric element, carries a little bit more of a cost.
Oh, that's gas.
versus a gas.
And you're not using much gas.
No, not typically. It depends on the volume of syrup.
That one seems a little bit better, right, for the application?
Typically, most will go with a 16 by 16 when they're looking at flat filtering, because in the future, you can add a vacuum applicator to it. So you would set a vacuum applicator on top of this, and you hook it up to a small shop vac, and then you actually will pull the syrup through the filters instead of waiting for gravity to do its thing.
How much time does that save?
It's a significant change, but there again, it depends on how dirty the syrup is
Gotcha.
from year to year. So if you have a really bad niter year, it could take a while still, even with the vacuum applicator. But if the syrup is relatively clean, it'll speed it up.
How much is the vacuum applicator to put on?
I think it's around 4 something or $3.75.
Let's throw it on there too.
We can do that. We can price out a 16 by 16
What's this?
sight glass. So what that does is it tells you exactly how full your bottler is getting.
Oh, that one does not have it, or you
You could put it on there. You can add that to it. That's not a problem. We got the hydrometers that you would utilize to test the syrup, to see where the density is. Murphy cups make density testing easy. That way you don't have to worry about having a thermometer as well to see what the temperature of your sample is. You pour your sample into a Murphy cup. It tells you what the Brix reading should be, and then you simply just float your hydrometer with it. So let's say
This is a Murphy cup?
Yep, exactly. So let's say that your sample that you put in there is going to read 64. So our sample's reading 64. I'm going to float my hydrometer in here. As I float my hydrometer, we're going to look here. It's floating at 63. I know that is too light now. I need to keep boiling because I'm not hitting 64 that it says here. I'm going to boil a little bit longer. I take another reading. Now it's floating at 64, and my Murphy dial is saying 64. My densities are perfect.
They have to be perfect. What if it's 65, 65? That's what you want or no?
Even if it's 65, 65, that's what you'd want it to be at. Whatever this dial says, that's what you want your hydrometer.
What if you
to
boil
float at.
too much?
If you boil too much, it's not a problem. What you want to do is start drawing off. And then what you can do is you can finish it and bring that density back down after you have it off of the evaporator. And the way that you would do that is you either add distilled water or you add raw sap back to your syrup.
Oh.
And you thoroughly mix it. Because then what you're doing is you're bringing that density of that syrup back down.
Makes sense. It's hot then at that point when it happens.
Yep. So you're going to be doing that adjustment factor at anywhere from 180 to 190 degrees.
I think I'm going to screw this up.
No, it's not too bad. It's not a bad process. Even if you get a little bit of niter or you go a little over dense, it's not a problem.
So I'm going to basically bottle from this right here. They go right into the
You
jars.
can go right into a jar from there too.
And then you just, how do you get it so, do you put a little thing on top then so it seals?
So it depends on what you want to put it in. Some people will go into mason jars. Some people will go into glass. We do sell glass here. And then the caps that are associated with it are all designed to create a seal when you put syrup in.
Oh.
So you put your syrup in at 180 to 190 degrees. You tip the bottle, you invert it. That way that hot is hitting the cap, and you tip it back up. It
sucks it right down.
And then as it's cooling, it creates the vacuum. But
What's
yeah,
this stuff? I don't need this, right? No.
This is just a filter press. So if you're looking to increase your filtering capabilities and reduce the amount of time it takes to filter, a filter press is what some will use. There's a little more involved with running the filter press. I mean, they use what's called diatomaceous earth. And then the diatomaceous earth is what actually does all of your filtering.
What does that mean?
A diatomaceous earth is just a powder.
Oh, so you're putting powder into the... I don't want to do that.
So you put powder into your syrup. You put filters into the filter press here. Those filters hold the DE into these window plates, which is what this is. And then the syrup actually gets filtered through that.
Do they have organic diatomaceous earth?
It is.
Just kidding.
I believe it is actually organic. It's like crushed up shells and all that other stuff.
Makes sense.
So flat filtering is definitely easier than cones. So
Cool.
the flat filters are pretty nice. If I were to rank the filtering process, I'd say good, better, and then best.
We'll do that one for now.
And then that would pretty much be the full process.
I think you had a 2x4. This is a 2x5 though, you said, right?
This one here is a 2x5.
Are these for sale that you have on the floor?
Some of them are. We're not quite at that stage because the guys in the back can still pump them out. Because we do produce everything here. All the pans are cut and bent and welded here, as well as the arch bodies themselves, the bottoms. Those are all welded and manufactured here too. So
When am I going to tap these trees?
tapping is going to be starting. Typically, you're looking for, most of the time in the state of Wisconsin, most are tapping at March, beginning of March. What you're looking for is the temperatures to be warm in the day and cold at night. So you're looking for the freeze-thaw cycle.
If you tap too early or too late, what are the problems?
So if you tap too early on a gravity system, such as bags or buckets, what can happen is you can shorten the amount of time that you have to collect sap. And the reason being for that is if you tap too early and you're not getting the full volume coming out of the tree, it'll start to heal itself as the season progresses. So what could be producing a lot throughout the day, later in the season, your trees might be producing small drips.
Oh,
Whereas other guys will be, oh man, my tree produced 5 gallons today. If you tap too early, that volume will be reduced. During those cold spells that we had where we were down in the negative 30s and stuff like that, that frost level probably got driven down into the ground pretty far because we didn't have much snow anywhere. And frost levels will also dictate when a tree's going to start to run. Because what you're looking for is the tap roots in the tree need to be thawed so that they can start to pull the nutrients and moisture from the roots and bring it all the way up into the canopy.
so what is a typical season that I'm going to have this stuff sitting out? The bucket?
So typically, depending on how you want to run, some people are just hobbyists. They know that they want to make 5 gallons of syrup because that's what they use. And some people will make that in the first 2 weeks.
And then
then they're done.
How long can I store that sap for?
Raw sap you can store from anywhere from 7 to 10 days as long as it's cold.
So I'm going to have to do 2 or 3 batches of this stuff
Yep.
and bottle right away.
And you can, if you have a means to get access to small beer kegs, you can bottle into a small beer keg and seal it, and it'll still store until you have time to then go and do the bottling and finishing. So you can store a finished product if you wanted to.
Or screw around, I'll just do it.
You just
all
you got to have the storage to.
But you can do this all in one day, right?
What others will do is they'll, like for instance, Jimmy, my colleague, he runs a 2x4 Corsair. What he'll do is he'll actually do some of the process in the full day. Otherwise, what he'll do is he'll bottle into a beer keg or just go straight into a beer keg and then he'll cap it. And then when he gets a free weekend where he knows he's not going to boil, then he'll start doing the finishing and bottling process.
Wouldn't it be easier when it's warm to do that?
You can still bring it up to temperature depending on what you use. Jimmy uses a finisher, so he uses one of those LP units, brings that up to temperature because it goes relatively fast. So nothing too crazy in that. You just need to bring it up to that 180 to 190 degree range to start that process. So depending on how you want to do it and how much time you have available will dictate a lot of that.
And they all have the hard casters on the bottom?
Those are something that we can add to it. These are just factory fitment ones that make it easier for us to get them in and out of the showroom.
I would need some wheels or something.
We do offer 2 different styles. The air pneumatics are kind of what we call our off-road tires.
Do you have a brake on these things? Just put a little, okay.
So those would be more of the off-road tires if you're going into grass or gravel. If it's all concrete or blacktop, the casters work really well.
It is just concrete and asphalt. So
Okay.
it's crazy. I mean, you guys do this year round, but even though you're only tapping for a month or two,
Because we produce evaporators for people all over the U.S.
they're doing it all different
So
times.
we have customers up in Vermont, Maine, Kentucky. We have some guys who produce cane syrup and sorghum syrup on our
Okay.
evaporators too, and those guys are down Missouri, Kentucky. We're constantly moving, we're constantly building and getting stuff out, even though the window of production is so short. We do have a lot of customers all over. That would be a gradient that sets up. The influx, the incoming sap is on the left, and then what you're going to have as far as almost a finished product is on the far.
Oh, that makes sense. Do you guys deliver?
We offer free delivery for a lot of our evaporators. And then in-store pickups too, whichever works best for you.
So we may tap more trees, so we'll figure for a little bit more. You guys sell the buckets and everything else, the 5 gallon
We don't
pails.
have any food grade buckets,
I just get them somewhere else. So that's
but
fine. You have the caps and everything?
We have taps. The caps, no.
Bucket, so I got to get that stuff, and then you just drill a hole in the bucket.
Yep. So what you do is you put the cap on top of the bucket, drill a hole through the top of the bucket, put your hose down into the top
Yeah.
of the bucket, and then what I would do is I would also drill a hole in the side of the bucket towards the top. That way, if the bucket were to overfill, it's got a way to get out. Otherwise, what can happen is the tree will actually start taking its sap back up the tubing.
Oh, how long does it take to fill a bucket?
It could be, depends on the day.
You can go fast.
It could go fairly quick. Some people will say they put their buckets out that morning. If it's a good run, they could have a 5 gallon bucket at the end of the day. It just depends on what Mother Nature's doing that
And
day,
one tap per tree, that's it.
typically.
Okay.
Anything that's 10 inches or bigger can accommodate a tap.
Less than 10 inches, don't tap.
Yeah, I wouldn't tap anything less than 10. It's a general rule of thumb.
Cool.
But I can get together
Let's
a
do it.
2x4 and
So I do the metal ones that you have,
some will do stainless steel, others will do plastic.
and they just throw them away after.
And then you can still, the plastic ones, some will utilize for 2 seasons if you clean them in between.
Is there a huge difference in price?
The plastics are going to be a little bit cheaper simply because it's a plastic versus the stainless steel. So, and all of our stainless steels are cast.
How many of these have you sold?
Big units, we sell a few. Typically we do a lot of our big units during the summer months, simply because it takes a lot of material. Our facility it's a good size.
Oh, you make these?
Yeah, we would make, this one specifically is somebody else's.
Yeah.
But we produce all the way up to a 3 foot by 12 foot. We have some of the capabilities as some of the larger competitors of ours. But,
Seems like a tough business. Not what you're doing, but the syrup business. You've got to produce a lot to make any money.
so typically the guys who are making syrup commercially, those are the guys that are going to be actually making some money and making it a job. But you're talking a lot of taps. I tap with a group of guys that we do it commercially. And we're not big by any stretch of the means. We're fairly small when you look at some of our other competitors. We tap about 26,000 and we produce anywhere from 160 to 170 barrels of syrup in a year, depending upon the season.
What do you sell to?
We wholesale, so it depends on who's going to give us the best price.
What do you usually get for a gallon of wholesale?
Usually it goes by the pound,
pound,
not the
okay.
gallon. So they're looking for the sugar content. They're going to pay for the sugar. They don't care as much. So that's the way that you look at selling wholesale is by the pound.
Is it worth your time?
Can be. When you get to that scale, it's one of those cool things. All right, so we got the 2x4 evaporator.
I could, because I have an extra manifold. Because of the same pressure.
Oh, wow. So you just could do this too. That's pretty cool.
And that's what we have on our property. I run all mainline tubings with a 5/16 lateral that spreads out. 1 inch main line is like your main, you can think of it almost like a sewer system in a way, where each house is a lateral that comes into one main line. As you're collecting sap from the trees, it goes into a main line, which then goes into a vacuum system where as a releaser, which then can dump into a larger tank.
So throughout the main line, you just splice into that.
Yep.
All the way down. Interesting. Maybe I do that. How high do you tap the trees?
Gravity system where you're just running bags and buckets, usually just at chest height, typically is where people are doing it. On a vacuum system, it depends on where you're at as far as your main line, because typically you try to get a 2 to 4% slope on main lines, and depending on your property, it may be close to the ground, it could be up high, it could be in a few different spots.
Gotcha.
So,
Do you leave the main line up all year?
yes.
Do you clean it out?
Yeah, so you try to, depending on how big of a system you have, some will pump back into it with a cleaning agent to clean the tubing, so they'll run in reverse and send it out. Others, what some will do is they'll just keep their vacuum running and pull all of the moisture to the end. And that way, if you don't have any moisture in there, there's a less chance of bacteria to start to grow.
Maybe I'll do that down the road. Okay.
But all the components that you need to insulate it go with the purchase of the arch. So you get all the insulation, all the batter or mortar to go along with that. Base stack, the amount of stack material that you need to efficiently run it goes with it as well as the rail gasket that goes in between the pan and the top of the rail, and a stiffened gasket that goes on the back side of the pan.
Okay.
I also have that float box in there that we talked about, the sight glass, the caster set to move in and out, and then also a forced draft kit. What that does is it allows you to take some of the inefficiencies of the firewood out of the process, and it's applying air underneath the fire to increase
How's that run?
rate with just a standard 110 outlet. And here's that complete steam bottler that we talked about.
You don't have to run that though, right?
No, you don't have to if you don't want to. It can run naturally. So we could take that option off.
No, keep it on. That's fine.
If you needed to. Then otherwise, here's that 16 by 16 complete that we were talking about.
Okay.
It's got the filter tray in it. This one is the gas option. If you wanted to go electric, we can make that adjustment. But then here's that vacuum system that would be applied to the top of it.
Oh, we might bottle inside. So can you
Do an electric?
probably let's put a stainless steel table and just probably do that inside?
I can do that. I can change that. So, and then I just added a few extra filters on there. That way you have a bunch to run throughout the
What about the taps?
season. We can add those on too. Okay. And then too, a lot of this stuff you can order directly off the website. We have a fairly intuitive.
Did a nice job on your website.
Thank you. Angela does a lot of work on it to make sure everything is nice and easy to flow, easy to understand. And then we'll just go to taps. And then here you'll see some of those differences in the pricing. A stainless steel tap designed for a run to a bucket would be this one here.
Oh, they're $45 each.
$45 for 25.
Oh, 25.
Otherwise, this would be the plastic version of that. The plastic version is going to carry a little different price, obviously. So for
Do the $45 ones, fine.
So
You just soak those in something, and
typically, some will just put them in a pot and start boiling water.
so just do 4 of those. Or no, I'm just do. We might do 125, so just do 5.
Before we get you 100, you want to do 125?
It's not even a much difference in price.
That way, you don't have
got it.
any worries of running out.
So what does that mean? It says it was 67, it's 63. What is this?
This is just going to be the price of the base price of the evaporator.
What's up?
So then what it's doing is it's taking some of the optional add-ons that we're adding, and it'll add it to the base price here to get you the subtotal.
Gotcha.
That works. And then when you do bundle, when you purchase a full evaporator, then we started adding some bundling discounts. So typically just the actual full evaporator would be $67, $78. But since you're doing a full evaporator, we'll knock that price down a little bit further for you.
Gotcha. What about bottles and
Bottles?
yeah?
Bottles we do would be a local pickup. We don't ship single cases of glass.
You won't bring it with when you guys deliver this stuff?
No, not in that regard. So if you were to come in and just come pick some up, we do offer single cases in the store. They come with caps as well for pickup.
I could just buy those today too if I wanted to.
If you wanted to, that's not a problem.
If they could set it up for me, it'd be great. I'm just not around too often, so
Okay.
if that thing is sort of turnkey, ready to go, that would be awesome. All right, I'm leaving here now. So that guy was super helpful, and it's going to be under 10 grand, and they're going to deliver everything. So I think I'm going to get the bigger unit. They're just asking the boss to see if they can sell the showroom model, which I'm assuming they're going to be able to do that. Hey, welcome everybody. Guess what I'm doing today? Yeah, you had no clue. I am, for the first time in my life, tapping sugar maple trees and going to make maple syrup. My goal here, we're going to do about 100 trees, maybe 120. I think we're going to get about 25 gallons of maple syrup at the end of the day. For every gallon of maple syrup, you need 40 gallons of sap. And I got the whole setup. You guys are gonna see it all from Smoky Lake Maple Products in Hilbert, Wisconsin. So we spent about 10 grand on all this. I don't know that I'll ever get that back in the syrup, but it's gonna be a fun project for Blair and I. Check it out. Who do we have here? Matt Shimon Funeral Homes in Hartford, and Jack. Jack and Cece went on a date years ago. Remember that? That was crazy. So that's pretty tight. That's probably good though, right?
Yeah, that should be fine.
All right, so this is what we're gonna do. Grab a whole bunch of these tops. This works perfectly. That was easy. All right, we're ready to go. All right, so what we have to do, we have to drill holes in every tree, tap it, and then we have to put a hose in it. And then how long, Matt, do you think until?
Depends on the day.
So some days it's gonna be full, one day? Oh my gosh, how am I gonna do this?
It's very weather dependent.
But you think it's ready right now? So right now, what are we, March 3rd? Yeah, we're March 3rd.
You might even be a little bit late.
That's how you get pregnant.
Good point.
What? So Matt just drilled the hole and it's already coming out. So
Yeah, so you're just gonna
we just tap it in.
put it in there.
All right.
We'll tap, tap, tap.
That's it? You don't go any further?
No, you just want to get it to seal up. So then, yeah, you'll just.
You don't need much.
Yeah, so then you're just gonna.
Is that too long?
Yeah, should work.
Wow, it is going.
Yeah, so like if literally like on when it does this, it'll be just like a nice heavy drip. So I think if we just get the buckets where they're not going to tip over,
And we're done with one.
I think you're good to go.
180 more to go. Just kidding. Did you tap every tree here?
Sugar maples, yeah.
You got them all. So
Yeah.
there's no extras you'd be able to do anyway.
Flagpole. Got some pails. I got some covers. Let's do it.
Oops. Thank you.
So some of them have gotten bigger. Some of them are more questionable. Sugar maples, if you like, it takes a little while to figure out. Like they have grayish bark and they're kind of like gaily looking. So you can see even on like some of the tags, like the older ones get a little bit more. But
So this is sugar maple?
that, we could tap that one. That's kind of small.
Let's do it.
It's kind of based on tree diameter. Let's see if it leaks.
So as low as you can go, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. You have to go about 2 inches in or so. Just make sure it's cleared out.
It's coming. So we're gonna go this here. Wow, it would be nice if these were heated a little bit. But how far do you gotta get them on? It doesn't really matter,
Just
right?
so they're not going to fall off. Yeah. And then just give her a little tap in there.
That's it.
Yep.
All right. Wow, they're coming out.
I think they've been holding it all winter. And then give the tree a hug. For real, you got to give the tree a hug. You got to tell them it's going to do a good job.
Good. Be a good boy.
They're done. It takes a little while to figure it out.
So how long have you been doing this?
7, 8 years.
And have you been producing more every year?
It really just depends on how much sap produces each year. There's about 35, 40 gallons sap per gallon of syrup. The one year that we did all the trees up on top there, we did a lot.
Do you usually need a pliers to take these out?
You should be able to pop them out with a
A hammer, right? Oh, hit them on the side.
Yeah, this one's a sugar. Yeah, we could tap this one.
So do we do 2 on this one?
We could do 2, one in front and one in the back.
All right, so Jack's showing us how to tighten a drill bit here. Show him, Jack, how do you do it?
This is what I saw in the video. You're supposed to tighten it till it clicks and then back it off till it clicks the other direction, and that locks it in.
And then what do you do on a date with Cece? He's gonna
Run.
stab you with this rod.
You can do that one.
Just one?
Yeah. Yeah, that one's probably big enough this year. Tap it. I'll do the bigger one. Don't do the small one behind
Yeah.
it.
Put him on a little tighter. Jake had him on a little weak. There would be great, like this. And I'll just tap him right in. Making progress here.
5 of them at the place.
Big maples, you can tap one on each side. So one thing I'm noticing is when you do it, We got it labeled here, right? You got to make sure it starts spitting some sap out right away. See all the different taps they've had in there in the past. So this one's pretty hard. So this is definitely, you see it's wet. Here it comes, look at that. We do one on each side. All right, making a little progress here. Yeah, it's super easy. And then the hard part's gonna be emptying these buckets. So how many times do you think you have to empty them throughout a season?
Depends how much they're running, but probably 10.
10 times. Whew. It's a lot of work. This seems dangerous, you guys. Got it.
There it goes. Uh-oh.
Just like that. I'm out of shape. So we did about 110 trees today. Out of breath. Matt says we're gonna have to empty these about 10 times. So let me know if there's any volunteers in the comments. I don't know if this will be a video by itself or if we wait until it's done. We'll probably end it here. There'll be this. And you guys saw the beginning where we bought everything. That is how you get set up. And now it's sit, wait, and dump, right?
That's right.
And if you die, go to Shimon Funeral Home in Hartford, Wisconsin. And if you're lucky enough, he'll embalm you.
We'll keep that out of the video. We got it. We got it under
Can they
control.
get a discount?
It's negotiable.
The best place to go when you die, Shimon Funeral Home in Hartford. Someone's got to do it.
There's always one.
Making it weird. All right, that's it for today, guys. We'll see you soon. Let's go make some syrup. All right, Saturday, March 14th, here at Don the Lumberjack. You guys have seen him on Mr. Hampay. He's actually done some interviews for us. So we're here, we're making maple syrup. We've actually boiled this container twice. So 550 gallons of sap in the syrup. We've got all that produced. Today, we're gonna go collect some more syrup or sap. Hopefully we'll have a whole nother container because it has been running. When it gets cold, when it gets under freezing, and then it gets warm, that's when it runs. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna start cooking this as soon as we bring another one up here. And you guys are gonna love my new wheel loader. I got a Cat 903.
Really?
That's an articulating loader. Everybody needs that when you're making maple syrup. So now I've gotten even more debt. It's never gonna make money on. Yeah, we're gonna do a lot of stuff with that. So all right, we're gonna grab the UTV. We're gonna grab everyone. We're gonna go start collecting. And then we're gonna dump it into the other container in the back. We're gonna get this thing fired up. Jack's gonna come here, the guy that dated Cece. You guys. We're gonna have some fun today.
Nice.
Let's go. Have you ever done this before, Connor? Yeah. All right, so here's the first bucket. It's pretty simple. We just bring one bucket up, and this one we forgot to collect, I think, the last couple times. And this is a big tree. Look at this. Isn't that crazy? All right, let me take this one on accident. That one I'm sure froze. All right, now it's just basically, we're gonna go down, we walk down, collect them. There's about 100 of them. So we just take one, replace it, and make sure it's on level ground because once it gets full, it can tip. I just emptied these though.
Brick of ice.
Oh God, that's not good. There it goes. You just gotta poke through it a little bit. And the ice, you can leave that one out in there. So we're gonna go down the driveway first, and then there's a path in there, we'll get all those. Had a casualty. Huh. Where's the other tap? It came out of the tree completely. Look at right here. It's all dripping down. See it? All right, here's what you do. Make sure the hammer. Oh God. Oh. There's a lot of sap today. Not even 48 hours. Easy peasy. So next year we're gonna do a vacuum system. Yeah, so you'll have everything going to one major or one tote. I got that one down, I think. There's one in there if you want to grab it. Way back there. We're not doing this for the money, Dom.
No?
The 25 gallons of
Well,
syrup?
think about that. 25 gallons of syrup, what are you actually gonna get? Per quart, you might get 15 bucks, right? $20, you mark it up a little bit.
Sure.
So it's
2,500.
yeah, and I'm already into it for 13,000.
But think about the long-term potention
There's
Even if
none.
it's just for 5 years, you'll break even.
There's none, because you still gotta keep buying bottles and then buy food for everyone to come over. And on the first video, people were like, wow, you're sure breathing heavy, Jason. Never did this before. There we go. That's a big one. All right, cap them up. So we're filling up the IBC tote. It's 275 gallons. We're gonna fill it with all of the raw sap.
500 gallons?
275. And then this does not matter because we would just burn this off anyway. Well, we're over halfway there. We're gonna have this thing full and then we're gonna get a little bit more. So once this is full, we're gonna put it up on top. We're gonna start the burner. Jack will be over here. He's gonna man it today. Because you gotta keep water, 2 inches of water in that pan at all times. All right, so right now we're gonna unhook this tote up here and we're gonna keep filling this one. Had an idea. Not gonna tell you what it is yet. All right, this is the machine right here. Let it warm up for a little bit. All right, so the way you control this thing, it's all pilot controls, means like flying like a pilot, right? So it's over here on the right. So reverse, you just flip this thing back. You can lift it up here. I tilt to the left a little bit and I bring that back. Right is forward. I'm going backwards. I know what I'm doing.
That thing is awesome.
Yeah.
Danger zone. Danger zone. That's how it's done. First try every time. Oh, it's so much better. So I would much rather have a loader that I can walk out of the side than climb over a bucket and break my ankle or legs.
We're good to go.
That's how you get her going. So anytime, look at this, Dom. So it's got this little float sight glass in here.
Oh, cool.
It'll keep filling up in here. So then what it does is it comes in through here, comes all the way through here, all the way back around into here, and then it'll drip out into here once we're over. You wanna try it?
No.
It'll be filtered later. Wanna try it?
Sure.
That's great.
But this will, you leave that crack just a little bit. And once it hits 7, it opens it up.
Oh, do they come set it up for you?
No.
Really?
That
Just
was
drop
a
it
pain
off?
in the butt.
Good luck.
Matt came over to help us. Oh, did you die on us? Let me get some more wood here. Oh, don't do that. There you go. It happens. It should. I mean, it's going.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Connor's good.
For now.
Yeah, we're going to collect more sap.
More sap.
Exactly. Safety first.
Wow, you got a whistle on you.
All right.
Start on these two.
There's a stick. That one should be done. I think you can test it. There you go.
Don't ignore signs. I'll do it.
Oh, I don't want the holes in. So much easier with all these people. Actually go pretty quick. Did you do that one back there?
That's empty.
That one's good.
Put it up there. You do that one?
All right.
You ready to do that one?
That's not even 48 hours. 4.5 gallons of sap. Crazy.
And here on the right.
We're gonna be dishwashing all the glasses so they're clean.
So this is what they call a widowmaker.
Yeah, this could take you out. So this thing is the new Milwaukee fuel brushless chainsaw.
Check. Back up.
All right. Watch out. This is Mommy Maple. It is a big pig. It is a huge maple tree. Watch how much it produces. It's not bad. Less than 48 hours for that one. Let's see what the other side does. One tree, over 5 gallons of sap. Not too bad. That's Mama Maple right here. Oh, I tried. It didn't work. Okay, we'll wait.
Hey, you drive like my ex-wife.
Yes.
Fresh out of the spigot.
I like.
This is Gary Soike. high school offensive line coach. I owe him for all of my success. All-state Germantown linebacker, 14-0 in 1998. Yes.
Other than that, we had success.
Between me and Dom? Oh, it wouldn't even be close.
No, you don't want to do that. I don't think I can do it. I don't think
It's a little different than.
Let me try.
What are we doing? You don't wrestle.
I'm gonna pick you up. I got you. Wow.
Watch the difference.
No. All right. So I'm gonna say though, when you used to kick me, we had these big tie pads. I was skinny. You were just like no, I wouldn't fight you.
The best was when we would do the low kick and then all of a sudden come up to your face.
With a switch. That was pretty fun.
It was a long time ago, Dom.
Was it?
It's like 20 years ago almost.
More
Or
than
30
that.
years ago.
30 years ago.
Where's the time gone? Another 30 years, I'm probably dead.
No. Well, GLPs, but
Exactly.
life eternal.
All right, so we've collected all the sap. We're boiling. We've got maybe 2/5 of one, I don't know, just under an entire tote left to boil through the sap. So when people come, you got to feed them. So we're making just some burgers and some hot dogs. All beef hot dogs, no bun. Trying to stay away from carbs.
We're not flowing.
Isn't that good? That's okay. We got another bucket. More where that came from. All right, just overheated a little bit. Oh!
Whoa.
Hey, discounted embalmings at Shimon
Funeral Home.
Funeral Home in Hartford. All right, so Matt is the expert here. Matt has his children here. You guys have seen Harper and Noah, and that's Jacob hiding back there. Everybody has been working very hard today. So we're gonna boil down another 275 gallons. Right now we're at about 10 gallons of syrup, maybe 9, right, Jack? 9.5? So Matt, you're saying we have to boil the bottles before, right? Sanitize?
Correct.
So we've got 4.5 cases boiled and ready to go. And we're gonna see what we're doing here. Matt's gonna teach us everything. Just so you guys know how this works. So it's at 216 right now. When it gets to 219, the thermometer that is right here, right? It is almost the closest to the end. When it gets to that, it's thick enough, it's hot enough. That's when it'll click the solenoid and then it starts coming out of here. And you guys can see how this whole thing works, right? The sap comes in here, it starts there, it works, it comes all the way around here and out and down into the bucket. So we got 2 buckets full. We're gonna have to boil those over here. And then we put it into the bottling unit over here. You'll see. We got a turkey fryer right here. So we're gonna boil. How do we know it's at the right density, Matt?
You want this doohickey floating at 61. So you got to get this in the syrup, get it hot, drop this in there, and then at surface you want to be at 61. You could probably add a little bit of sap, but that's pretty much perfect.
Okay.
So then you could dump this into the bottle.
So is it ready for us to put it on there?
Yeah, so we'll...
Oh God. Ready, guys? We got enough in there? We're good? Yeah, we're good. Oh.
No, so essentially all we're gonna do is we're getting everything set up. So then once we get it, we're within that red line. We're at good bottling temperature.
How is it gonna get hotter? Oh, this thing. Okay.
That's what that thing's for. We put water in there, so then that's boiling in there, so it's steaming.
When the videos I saw, it went right
fast.
Let me try it one more time.
But it's definitely going through.
We'll try this stuff.
So then we might have just been a little plugged, but that'll keep going through here. But we're close here, so you can get that reheated and vacuumed up. But let's bring this up.
Turn it up higher.
So baby divers look like?
Yes.
On the first floor, question mark?
So what you should do is you should practice putting your fingers through that and just pretend that that's baby poop. That's gonna be baby poop for him.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Shane's gonna be a daddy.
This is all just, that filter's done now. So what you can do then is just throw it into the slop sink and you just rinse all the filters out and you can let them dry, so you gotta reuse them all.
We're prepared.
Oh, you're prepared.
Which one do you want? Do you want the...
Well, we'll get it cleared out. Where did that pail go here? And then when you put your cap on, give it just a little snug. And then I just flip them sideways. This table will be much easier because some of them will leak.
Yep.
So if you put them this way. So what you want to do is you basically just want that hot syrup to melt that seal down into the bottle.
They will leak.
And then sometimes they will, sometimes the plastic gets soft. So if they leak a little bit, just give it a little snug.
A little tighter. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So right now we're just emptying the rest of the sap from this because you're always going to have a little bit. At the end, we're going to have to just tilt it forward when we use the rest of this up. So we're going to use all the sap today. What do we got in here? Maybe another 150 gallons? What do they say? We just basically do this. So we're at 180 to 185 degrees. We fill it up. And where do we go? To the first line or the second one? Probably up here, right there. So they say to put it in sort of tight. Just give it a little snug. Then we put it sideways right there. That's the first bottle. You want to do one, B? So I'll hold it here for you. Right there. So it's going up faster now. So I'm gonna put it in here. I need you to get it to this, somewhere in this level right here. You can pull it forward, right in here. That will go just a little bit more. We're there, perfect. All right, put a top on. You guys wanna help? Put it real tight. And then we just put it right here on its side. We let her sit. All right, who's helping next? Come on, brother. Pull it forward. We're gonna go up to this line right here. We gotta remember which one you did. You get to keep it. Pull it forward. We're going right to here. And then you're going to stop when we get up to there. Keep going. Wait, right here. See, right here. Ready? Nice job. Ready? Put a top on. All right, so you're number 3. Remember that. Okay, you in there? All right, you want to tell me if it's hot? Feel this? A little hot? You're number 3. Remember that. Don't forget. All right, man.
I think that's the answer to this.
Right to here. That's a perfect stop. You're number 4. All right. That was a good tight. All right, number 4. Got it in there.
You literally just did it all on.
All right, make sure you stop it right about now. That's perfect. All right, you want to put the top on? Here we go. Screw it on. Yep, right way. Perfect. Keep going. Nice and tight.
I think you
All right, you're number 5. Okay, 5?
I do like 4.
Nice job. So now we're getting to the point where we're actually going over a little bit. Yep.
Why are we going over?
Stop. Oh, that a boy. Oh, careful. Oh, over there. Oh, is there enough?
Is that hot?
Oh, yeah. Nice job, Shane. A little too high. The kids did a better job than you did.
Oh, they did.
Just kidding.
All right, my first syrup bottle.
Not bad. It's right up to anywhere in there. All right, Scott.
All right.
Bottle her up. All right, so I got a question for you guys. We're doing this now. Do you have to refrigerate it? Does it mold? I want you guys to tell me in the comments because I Googled it and it's telling me all different things.
Yeah.
All right, boys. We're going to go by Mama Maple, it's called. It's about 8 miles away. It'll take us 3 days. Well, if you have to poop, we're just going to go by a tree.
8 miles is only 8 minutes.
Depends how fast you're going, yes. All right, we're over by Mama Maple. I got the Z-Boys with me. Come on, Z-Boys. All right, so I want to show you guys how sap is made, or how syrup is made, okay? So here's the deal. We made this right here from this, okay? I'm going to show you what's in it. So if you look in here,
I know it's sap.
Sap. Do you see how it just drips in there? We just did this today. It comes out of the tree right here, drips down the hose, goes into here. So you would need 40 gallons of this to do 1 gallon, like a gallon of milk, gallon of maple syrup. All right, and just like that, we're done. You guys saw like, I don't know, a 2-3 part series, saw everything from tapping the trees to collecting the sap to putting the evaporator together to making the maple syrup to bottling it, filtering it, doing it all, and then labeling it with, we don't have it on here yet, but you guys will see them soon, Maple Twins. You're not gonna wanna miss that either. So, Blair and Harper put all that together. Is that heavy?
Yeah.
God, you're strong. You're very strong. All right, from the Z-Boys and Mr. Handpay and Jason, we're out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you real soon. What do you guys want us to do on this property next?
Fireworks.
Fireworks. I don't mind that idea. Let's go. All right, for anybody who wants to buy maple syrup, you guys can go to mrhandpay.com, or we'll put a link here as well. We're gonna sell, there's 16 ounces actually. I think I talked about it being 10 ounces. They're a little bit bigger. So there's 16 ounces, pure maple syrup. We did not put anything in there besides sap. So you guys can buy it at mrhandpay.com, but it's a pre-order. So we're gonna probably sell about 100 of them. They're $24.95 each. If you spend over $50, you get free shipping. You can combine it with any merchandise or anything else. And you also get other free stuff on there. So we will put that together. We'll send them out hopefully in the next couple of weeks. So you guys did a great job with the logo.
Thanks.
Yes, so love that. But yeah, you guys will be able to order all of that, and then we'll send them out as soon as we can. And all the proceeds are going to go to Blair's. It's gross proceeds, so whatever it is, I'm paying for everything else, right? All of the whatever everything costs, and then all the proceeds will go to Blair and Harper's college fund.
Okay.
That was a ton of fun. Let me know what you guys think. What are we going to make next?
Honey.
Honey, blueberry syrup. I gotta get bees. All right, maybe that'll be next. Let me know in the comments.